My wife threw boiling water on my daughter's face. My own mother said, "I'm proud of her." The call came just before midnight, the kind of silence that follows after a number you haven't seen in years. I almost didn't answer, but I did. A nurse's voice, low, careful, too careful. She asked if I was the husband of Sarah Malik. I didn't breathe for 3 seconds. Then she said, "Your wife was admitted tonight. Self-inflicted burns. She's in critical condition." The phone didn't feel like a phone anymore. It was a confession, a message from the past clawing its way into my present. 7 years of distance collapsing in a single sentence. I stared at my daughter, asleep across the room. Her face turned away from me. Her scars caught the light of the half-open window, pale lines across ruined skin. She was 16 now, stronger than me in ways she would never admit. The hospital wanted to know if I would come. They didn't understand. I had already buried that woman once. And yet, the words twisted inside me. Not pity, not grief, something colder. Something I had been waiting for. 7 years ago, I had a wife, a mother, and a home. 7 years ago, I also had an illusion. It ended in the kitchen. The smell of boiled rice. My daughter's scream splitting the house like glass shattering. Sarah, holding the kettle, her hand steady, her eyes calm. My mother standing behind her, saying only 4 words, "I'm proud of her." Proud for disfiguring her granddaughter. My daughter. I remember every second. My daughter's skin peeling, red and raw. Her small hands clawing at me. My wife's silence. My mother's smile. That was the night I stopped believing in family. I packed bags in silence. Documents, cash, a single photograph that still haunts me. I carried my daughter through the door and never looked back. We disappeared. New city, new life. Every coin earned with sleepless nights, with rage turned into discipline. I built businesses like fortresses. I taught my daughter to hide her pain behind steel. 7 years later, we came back. Millionaires. Not for revenge, at least not openly. I told myself it was for closure. But closure was just another word for controlled war. The town hadn't changed. Same cracked roads, same small whispers. But money shifts gravity. Doors opened, eyes followed. I didn't visit anyone. Not my mother, not Sarah. I wanted to see who would come to me first. They didn't. Not for months, until the hospital called tonight. In the silence that followed the nurse's words, I remembered the nights I watched Sarah more closely than she knew. Before the boiling water, before the scars. I remembered her late returns, her absent stares, her phone hidden under pillows, the way she smiled at the screen when she thought I wasn't watching. I remembered testing that smile, asking where she had been. Her answers too smooth, too rehearsed. I had collected details, quietly, patiently, bank statements, texts, receipts that smelled like perfume I had never touched. Even then, I hadn't confronted her. I wanted certainty. The boiling water wasn't just violence. It was desperation. She was cornered, and she knew it. My daughter was only collateral in a war Sarah had already lost. And my mother had chosen sides long before that night. I went to the hospital. Not for her, for me. The nurse led me into the room. Machines hummed. Sarah lay wrapped in gauze, a body turned into ash and cloth. Her face unrecognizable. A symmetry of irony. She looked at me, eyes wide. Recognition cut through the morphine. I sat beside her. Not close, just enough for her to see that I hadn't aged like she thought I would. Money keeps a man sharper. Revenge keeps him alive. I slid a folder onto the table. Thin, precise. Inside, DNA results from 7 years ago. My daughter's test. My mother's handwriting on old letters. Proof of secrets buried under lies. I leaned in, quiet, calm. You weren't careful. She isn't mine. Her eyes broke first. Not her body. Her eyes, wide, wet, shaking with a terror she had hidden for years. My daughter, her victim, wasn't even mine. I didn't rage. I didn't scream. I only whispered. You thought burning her face would erase the truth. You thought my mother's approval would save you. But all it did was make you irrelevant. I stood, left the folder where she could see it. Every page was a blade. Her mouth opened, tried to form words, but her body betrayed her. No sound came, only tears. The nurse rushed back in, alarmed. Machine spiked. I didn't wait. In the hallway I passed my mother, old now, fragile, but her eyes still carried that same pride, that same poison. She tried to speak. I didn't stop. I walked past her like she was air, because that's all she ever was. Back home, my daughter asked where I had been. I told her the truth. Burying ghosts. She nodded. She didn't need details. She had lived through enough. As she went back to her books, I watched her. Scarred, yes, but alive, strong, herself. Blood never defined us. Betrayal did. Survival did. I thought of Sarah's eyes in that hospital bed. The silent collapse of a woman who once believed she could destroy me. I thought of my mother's pride turning to dust in a hallway she would never leave. And I realized something simple, something final. I hadn't vanished 7 years ago. They had. I only returned to watch them die slowly. The past never burned me. It only burned itself.